Growing up in an Asian household, grades were something that were emphasized. It's not just cultural in my house, it's cultural everywhere. When kids come home from school, you don't say, "What'd you learn?" Most of the time you say, "What did you make? What was the grade on that test that you had today?" You weren't going to school to learn, you were going to school to make a grade and then move on. Maybe that was just me, but school was incredibly boring. I had a difficult time connecting the dots between what we were learning and why we were learning. I'd love to learn, but it was usually about things that I was interested in, where I saw, why you were learning about it. And when my oldest son was going into kindergarten, I realized that really nothing had changed. It hadn't changed since I was in school, and I don't think it really has changed since my mom was in school. Part of innovation in education is really thinking about it differently. If we had to think about how we were going to educate kids today, I don't think we'd think about doing it in the same way we do it right now. Having a child sit in a class that already masters the topic, have to sit through the class so they can get credit for it. You would let that child demonstrate mastery. And so rather than time being the measure of how much you learn, how much you actually learn or know should be the measure. And that involves kind of redesigning everything around education. And kids should have more choice. You should have the opportunity. If you want to go to college, you should have the opportunity to track that way. If you're not interested in what college is today and being in a classroom, you should have opportunities much earlier. And we, as a community, should be the ones that are facilitating that for kids. And it does so many things. Kids are going to be happier. We're going to have a much more qualified workforce. And we're going to foster and encourage continued lifelong learning, because they're going to follow a track with something that they're interested in. And those are the things that we need to be working on in North Carolina and actually around the country. And those are things that I'm pretty laser focused on.